The Best Night Ever by Captain Chrysalid. Chapter 2.
You'll be seeing rainbows, oh, oh, equestria girls are kind of magical. Boots on hooves, bikinis on top.
Blueblood let the radio play. He didn't bother with breakfast either. Ponyville.
What do you mean you don't have the elements of harmony?
Well, you see, Blueblood, as awesome as Lord Faust is, sometimes her ideas can be a little strange. Like, for instance, apparently she thought that instead of having the most powerful weapons on the planet at your side, ready for, use, that they would be put into a cathedral and treated as holy relics. This is the equivalent of taking the Master Sword, and instead of keeping it with you during your adventures, you go over to the Temple of Time and place it on the lock and key while you proceed to go out and gather rupees. The mayor was probably regretting submitting to his request. He cringed away as Blueblood thundered and stamped a hoof against the ends of his chariot, hard enough to crack a wheel. It didn't help that the noble pony's ire was slowly directed at the 6 mares in front of him, not the crowd of gawking and growing onlookers. Even that cross-eyed Pegasus was staring.
You 6 are the gods of the elements of harmony, he yelled. What, did you lose yourselves?
He stopped again, utterly enraged.
Sell your souls, baby.
It hadn't taken much to determine the locations and identities of the 6 mares. Of course, that unicorn had been one of them. A freaking course. Still, it shouldn't matter. A quick ride down to Ponyville, a communicate to the guards about royal decrees, and he assembled all 6 fillies in the town square. I couldn't care less about the ponies in this podunk village, Solar thought. It was time to get this over with. It was time for these 6 mares to do their blasted job and fix things. Prince Blueblood, Twilight, aka the Buds, was the first to recover her voice. She stood next to a cowering golden Pegasus who was ready to bolt in fright. Princess Celestia has the elements now. We can't use them without her giving them to us.
No, 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 no!
He corrected her, pointing accusingly with a sinking hoof.
Don't tell me that. Do not tell me you don't have the bloody elements. I need you.
He pointed to each of them in turn.
To blast me.
The 6 mares all exchanged looks of worry.
Hit me with a rainbow. Bombard me with sparkles.
He all but pounded himself to his chest.
Throw me a light. Use the magic of friendship. Do something.
The pink one wound her hoof around and crossed her eyes comically.
Your ponies call me crazy.
Blueblood screamed.
Auntie, out of curiosity, do you have the elements of harmony? Auntie, I've heard from your student Twilight Sparkle that you sequestered the elements of harmony somewhat safe. I don't suppose you could. It has come to my attention recently that, Auntie, if you could just, Princess Auntie Celestia, Auntie, please.
At the gala,
At the gala, in the garden, I'm going to see them all the creatures, I'll befriend them at the gala, all the birdies and the critters, they will love me big and small, we'll be good friends forever, right here at the gala.
all our dreams will come true right here at the gala. At the gala. At the gala. It's amazing. I'll sell them. That you heard of. All my apple-tastic treats. Yummy, yummy. Hungry ponies. Give us samples. They will buy them. Caramel apples. Apple sweets. Give me some. Blueblood mouthed the lyrics to the absurd musical number. He knew it by heart at this point.
So do I!
He didn't even bother with the gala itself anymore. Sometimes he stayed and watched as 1 or 2 or any number of things went wrong. It never changed. Nothing ever changed. It was boring at best, torture at worst. So more often than not, he left. Sometimes he wandered. Sometimes he studied and experimented on himself. Sometimes he got lost. Sometimes he just drank to himself into a stupor. Into the gala, meet new friends. Into the gala, sail some apples. Into the gala, find my prince. Prove I'm great as a wonderful. To meet, to sell, to find, to prove, to woo, to talk. Doomed. You're all doomed. Even if one of them got what they wanted, The others wouldn't. Into the gala, we'll have the best night ever, he repeated, even though he could only barely hear the words of the ponies below. At the gala. Prince Blueblood took a deep breath and exhaled, and tossed himself off the highest tower of Canterlot.
You'll be seeing rainbows, oh, oh. Equestria girls are kind of magical. Boots on hooves, bikinis on top.
The radio died as Blueblood swatted off his dresser, tearing out the pony card.
You'll be seeing rainbows, oh, oh. Equestria girls are kind of...
A heavy hoof descended, smashing the concert contrasted with a squeal.
You'll be seeing rainbows, oh.
A magical glow wrapped around the radio, crushing it into a ball of crumpled metal in a splintering room.
Blueblood!
Celestia roared, absolutely livid. What do you think you're doing? What have you done? It all felt so surreal. Canterlot Palace was burning. It didn't matter how angry Auntie was. It was amazing, really, the looks on every pony's faces. The royal guards were staring, slack-jawed and dumbstruck, at the evil purple and green fire as it barely danced from tower to tower, spire to spire, consuming everything. Pegasi were in the air, circling like frantic buzzards. No, more like buzzing flies. Trying furiously to use the clouds and rain to put out the blaze. As if he had planned for that. As if he didn't know the flight patterns of every one like he knew the patrol routes of the guards. Like he knew the weak spots of the castle. Canterlot was burning, and no pony could save it. 1,000 years and more, ash, all to ash. Blueblood laughed, standing amidst the flames. A circle of magic kept him safe, for a time. It didn't matter, just long enough for him to be sure. He had to be sure. He needed to see the gala end with his own eyes.
No more galas!
He roared over the magical dragon flames and the tinted fire.
This was the only way to be sure. No more. Never again.
Gods and stars, nephew! Celestia took to the air, tried to reach for him with her magic. Blueblood already felt the green fire, dancing up his legs. So warm. She was too late. The fullest guest who had arrived early could only once, stunned and dumbstruck as the light that was Canterlot became a demonic bonfire. The incantations and forbidden spells spoke of a fire that would burn for 11 days and 11 nights, that could be extinguished by neither water, nor wind, nor mortal magic. All it required as a reason was the body and soul of a single pony. It was the gala. It had to be the gala. No more. No more galas.
You'll be seeing rainbows, oh, oh. Equestria girls are kind of magical. Boots on hooves, bikinis on top.
And people might think I get tired singing that song. I don't. Considering the fact that this song and a whole bunch of others are on my media player, hearing this song play at least multiple times, at least once per week, is actually kind of normal for me at this point. Especially considering what I have to do in order to write. Alive. Still alive. Always alive.
You'll be seeing rainbows, oh, oh. Equestria girls are kind of magical. Boots on hooves, bikinis on top.
Prince Blueblood, Prince of the Realm, Grand Veneur, etc., etc. Blueblood sat, stiff and silent, as Lake Tuds and Sandy got him ready for breakfast. He thought briefly about asking one of them to draw the water for the tub again. It was one of the quicker ways to end his day. There was an expensive hairdryer at Hoof that did the job very well. Of course, all it would have done was to send him back to where he was a few minutes ago. It wasn't a permanent solution. As if sensing his strange mood, Lake Tuds peeked from behind the mirror she held up for him.
Prince Blueblood?
Yes, yes.
He slowly snapped out of his stupor. Sometimes it was easier to just wait out the day, to jump through the hoops rather than restart from the beginning, again.
This is fine. Thank you, Light Touch.
Thank you, sir.
The chambermaid bowed, surprised as always to be complimented on her work, or even her dress.
There isn't anything I could ever say to put you at ease, is there?
Yes, no ideas are already.
I am at ease, my lord.
My touch lied and bowed more deeply. Sadie, as always, did the same. We both are. Blueblood nodded. There was nothing more to say. Today was another damn day. Arriving at the table, Blueblood saw the same scene as always. Celestia was calmly eating her oats and apples, a dish he genuinely tried and decided he didn't care for, while Luna was finishing her dinner and sipping from her wine glass. Barbara Place was already occupying a place of honor next to the empty chair where Blueblood judiciously sat. As ordained, he took his place, a ticking gear and a broken clock. Tea, milk, ginger. He finished and left early. Luna wanted to stay around as always, back to her private chamber. The night had went well, which is to say, it had come and gone without complaint. She followed the schedules he had posted in advance, so no pony was surprised by either the state of the moon or the brightness or darkness of the night sky. Everything went well, following the greater scheme. The old routine was beginning to bring back her powers, nullified as they'd been briefly been by the elements of harmony. Her stature had improved, and her hair was beginning to return to its ethereal state. Don't you just love it when we keep making excuses for this when it was actually just the fact that Lord Val's had to make this really quick? There was neither anything to bemoan or anything to be excited about. It was a nice medium, a pleasant middle ground. It worked. She could live with it. She wasn't unhappy, as she had her sister again. It was nice. Her guard stiffened at her side, pausing. Luna looked up to see what was the matter. The answer was curious. It was Blueblood. Was he lost? He was standing in the middle of the hall, blocking the way. She noticed a marked change in his bearing this morning. Normally, he was almost insufferably haughty and aloof, even for her taste. He would have fitted in well with the nobles of 1,000 years ago. Now he looked weary.
Auntie Luna,
he said, using the improper affections Celestia no doubt taught him.
what's it like
He asked, looking at her with desperate eyes.
to be immortal?
Luna blinked, finding the question both odd and unexpected. Why are you asking us that?
I guess the bigger question is,
Blueblood continued.
when you're destined to live forever, what do you do with your life? Besides what you have to, how do you live with it?
Luna considered the question, and how to reply. She opened her mouth.
One simply does, he guessed. That's what you're about to say, isn't it?
The Princess of the Moon raised her hoof to her chin. It was, yes, she answered, and explained a bit more, feeling the impulse to at least provide some new insight. Alright, Meg. Immortality is something you endure. It is a blessing in some ways, but a curse in others. What Blueblood said next, Luna did not expect to hear.
I think I'm immortal.
He stated with a measure of despair.
Not like you or Auntie Celestia,
He quickly elaborated.
a different immortal. Every day's the same for me. I can't die, I can't stop it. Isn't that what it means to be immortal? Is this what it's like?
Luna's expression darkened, expecting a joke of some kind. A poor one. One of her guards was reserved. She saw her dismissively in statement, Darcy was swearing.
You think it's funny, don't you?
Blueblood asked, not with malice. He simply sounded detached, despite the insult.
I guess it is kind of funny. Who would believe a crazy story like that?
Red sighed and shook his head.
Not like believing you saw a hippocamp when you were 6, or refusing to go to the water or even take a bath for the next 10 years.
The guard stiffened, and very quietly laughed. I don't know what you're talking about, Lord Prince. Sea ponies, you couldn't suppress a traumatic physical shudder. They're not real. Just old mare tales, not real.
Wrath, I'm guessing you did hear that one about your partner.
Blueblood asked the other guard, tilting his head to the side in full curiosity.
Well, you've only been teamed up for a month and 5 days. You didn't even talk to another until 2 days after that. Not to mention you did get very well along with your last partner in the Royal Guard. The one who didn't want to work with you because he found out you liked stallions as well as mares.
The guard to Luna's left actually tried back deep in shock. What? He growled. How could you?
You don't need to worry.
The prince assured him with a hollow and merciless grin.
Despite his phobia of aquatic ponies, Fury here has already heard the rumors and decided they don't matter.
Blueblood then added, for good measure.
Isn't that nice? Goodwill among Auntie Luna's bodyguards. Oh, and a pair of strong rings to pull that fat thin chariot the princess is trying to build in secret. The one she has in her cave beneath Carterlot. Isn't that a bit tacky, Luna?
Luna was keeping now, but quickly composed herself.
How how do you know about that?
She asked, not letting her regular feel slip, despite the near gasp.
Even Celestia doesn't know, so how?
I've had time to learn a lot of things, the prince replied. Boredom will do that to a pony. Once he gets tired of thinking of new ways to kill himself.
Or perhaps, Luna reasoned, he was using some spell to read minds.
On those two,
He pointed to a pair of guards.
maybe. On you, Auntie, do you really think I could?
He tapped the front ends of his hoof against the floor. The equivalent of a bigger step.
Oh, but I forgot. You don't like being called Auntie. You could have said so, you know. I would have stopped.
Silence reigned after that. Luna tried to rationalize her great nephew, whom she had hardly spoken to in months, whose family she hardly knew, knowing a private pet thief she hadn't shared with anyone. Even Celestia didn't know. At her sides, the two royal guards looked at each other, then to her for orders, or at least an explanation.
I could go on if you need more convincing,
Blueblood promised.
I know almost everyone in the palace by this point.
How much? Luna finally said. How much do you know about us? Meaning the royal us. Blueblood did his hand respect.
Not that much,
He readily admitted.
You don't like to talk about your past. The easy way to get information out of you is to rile you up and make you angry, or indignant.
Then why? Luna inquired. Why approach us now with this? Why not Celestia?
What makes you think I haven't tried?
He answered her question with one of his own.
Besides, I've seen how my auntie deals with her mortal life. I don't think I can live like that. I don't. I don't even want to be like this. I think you're the only one who can keep me from going completely insane. Please.
Please, he asked again, and lowered his hoofs, his head and horn brushing the floor.
Please believe me.
He remained there, bowing more deeply than Luna remembered seeing a pony bow, not since 1,000 years ago. Gods! She said, to raise her thoughts more authoritatively. Leave us. We would have words with our nephew. Seeing the pair tense, she added the caveat, and tell no one what you have heard here. Understood?
Yes, princess,
Her two guards replied in stereo. They hastened to leave. The only pair of royals remained. We, Luna corrected herself, I am listening. They wound up at the Royal Observatory. This, it turned out, was where Luna spent every gala night. Blueblood hadn't even been to this part of the palace in years. The once bare walls were now covered in diagrams of the various malleable stellar phenomenon. Most prominently, a nebula that Luna was planning to move over in the next few months, the Rios' bright, but normally obscured stars. There were paintings of the moon next to the hostess layouts of the moon, made by Luna herself. With her face gone from the night sky, the full moon was too bare for her liking. She intended to phase in new mares or dark seas as a replacement for the next 10 years. Blueblood recognized the passion and artistic obsession in the many layouts and prints, many marked with tiny, fine notes on the margins and lines and arrows and corrections and retractions and recorrections. His dark art was like an artist with an ever-changing palette, and she had repurposed the old observatory to her atelier. He even suggested using the term, an idea that proved right chuckles. Atelier? She asked. Was that not a bit pretentious?
Normally it would be, he agreed, but in this case I think it fits.
Outside, fireworks exploded as the gala roared in full swing. That musical number from every gala opening could be just barely heard through the intervening distance and opening windows. It had driven Blueblood nearly to madness before, but for the first time in a long time, he felt almost at ease. He smirked as his dart landed sadly in the center of the crudely drawn target circle. How dost thou manage that? Luna grumbled, her early knees slipping as she threw frustrated. A royal highness glared faithfully at the feathered dart resting in the cup of her bare hoof. green eyes fixated on concentric circles, foregoing magic. That would be cheating. Little hut to see through, the dart overhead, hitting the outermost edge of the cardboard bullseye. Blast!
No, no, you all throwing a rock.
He reminded the princess of the night.
Visualize it and make an easy flowing movement.
Blueblood picked up another blue feather dart and flicked it. Not even very quickly. It seemed to lazily drift through the air to land on the target, next to the one of its fellows, smack dab in the center. Little glowered playfully, tried again, with much less force. It took a little while, but finally she got one near Sarah. Huzzah! She drew her hose up in trouble. This is not so difficult. Blueblood sat on his hands and laughed with her.
You'll get the hang of it eventually.
This is a Pegasus game, is it? She asked, sticking out her tongue as she concentrated on repeating her feat.
It's a common game among the lower classes. I just learned it from the two Pegasi.
That would be the two Wonderboats.
Solid and Spitfire,
He confirmed, providing the names.
Sometimes I sneak them out of the gala to have fun in town. It took a lot of practice before I got as good as they are.
His shoulders trembled as he chuckled.
I also learned how to mix my own drinks. Let me tell you, that one skill has come in handy.
The plot prince of Equestria, mixing drinks and slumming with commoners. Luna remarked, amused by the image. Her next door was Koros, but a little authoric. But we are curious. Despite realizing a great deal, she continued to use the imperial plural. Do you ever tell them who you are?
Are you suggesting our subjects would not recognize us?
Blueblood declared in a grandiose voice, his up to his chest. Luna rolled her eyes in exasperation. We are suggesting you could hardly stand and have them not recognize you.
Is that so?
He inquired, chest still pumped up into real irritation. You possess an ego the size of Everfree itself, and you know it.
Well, since I am the pony who decides the borders of Everfree, there is some truth in that.
Blueblood joked, but answered his aunt's question.
When I go out with Spitfire and so on, I usually try not to draw attention to myself. But sometimes it is cathartic to make a scene.
Is it? Luna hesitated to ask, momentarily glancing towards one of the good windows that Gala beyond. Is it amusing to be among the common folk? So very much has changed in 1,000 years. The class has come and mingled more than I believed possible. Before today, she said with some embarrassment, I would never have imagined you, of all ponies, to partake of such activities.
I never would have before,
Blueblood admitted, picking up another dart and examining the needle tip.
Not only did I have any interest in such things, it would have been improper to do so. I spent my entire life cultivating my image as Blueblood.
He touched the sharpened tip to his other hoof, just enough to punch his skin a little, not draw blood.
Equestria's most handsome stallion, Catalan's most eligible batter, most untouchable and unassailable noble pony.
He threw the dart with long parentheses, wedging it between the three others of the same color.
I never really thought of accomplish anything. I never really felt like trying. Looking good was enough. When time came to retire, I arranged a marriage with some attractive younger man just fade away. And like every Blueblood does, I'm just number 52. Unless the royal genealogy somehow slipped up somewhere. Not even a memorable number. Like 50 or 60. 52.
Wow. Was that a shot at the DC-252? And I didn't know.
But now, none of that really matters,
He said with a yawn, weak smile.
Tomorrow, you'll forget we talked until you fell asleep. I played darts that night after you woke up. You look at me over the breakfast table and wonder quietly how you could even remotely be related to me.
Nephew. She began to protest, placing a hoof on his right leg.
It's alright, he asserted. That's how things are. I said earlier that maybe I was immortal, but maybe the truth is I'm not even here. When you can't live and you can't die, nothing you do changes anything around you. Can you really say you exist? I used to laugh at funny questions like that when I was a fool.
Blueblood touched a nice start. Bullseye.
I don't even know anymore.
He just finished when, taking it back, he felt her pull into a familiar hug. Luna was not Celestia's size,
Not yet, anyway.
and he was large even for a stallion, as he so generally stood shoulder to shoulder. It had been a long time since Celestia or his mother had held him, and he reflectively tensed at the front legs around him. Luna herself didn't even seem comfortable with familiar contact. She soon let him go, looking away in glowing embarrassment. She still had some of her issues of her own regarding family. He could sympathize. We don't know, she began haughtily. Maybe all flights isn't the best. This is why we hadn't wanted to give it before. She smoothed back some of her main eye to herself. But, she continued anyway, you should endure, she looked at him. Adapt and grow. You do exist, nephew. My own immortality has cost me everything but what I have with me now. She gestured herself, and my dear sister too, thank the heavens. The only thing we can't do, as ponies, is move forward.
Move forward? He asked, sorry in dismissal. How? How can you?
Even if it doesn't seem like it, she told him, placing her hose on his shoulders. Every day is an opportunity, no matter how bleak it looks at first. Blueblood nodded.
If you say so, princess.
You could call us Luna, you know. She sighed softly. We would like it if more ponies just called us Luna. The gala was a disaster again. Neither Princess of the Moon nor her strange nephew cared. They stayed up playing inane games and pointedly not discussing the subject of immortality. The moon was full and high, and after a time Blueblood escaped the tower to track down some coffee to stay awake. Luna had suggested just getting a servant to do it, but he also took it as an excuse to stretch his legs. He returned with a steaming pot from the pantry. Luna found the taste rather foul and said as much, but Blueblood down as much as he could. This time, he told her, he would bring milk and cream. They talked about stars, moons, maps, and cutie marks. Then it was over.
You'll be saying rainbows, oh, oh. Equestria girls are kinda magical. Boots on hooves, bikinis on top.
Luna was gone. The observatory was gone. Blueblood was back in bed, his eyes open, and he lingered a few seconds longer than normal before kicking off his covers and rolling off onto the floor. It was indeed a new day.
Excuse me, but I'm a bit of hard of hearing. You want to do what now?
I would like to know about the royal gardens.
Blueblood explained for the second time, leaning closer to the old gloved gardener.
If you would, please.
His saddlebags were stocked with books from the library. A slight cross-sections of topics relating to history, design, and influences of the great characters of Camelot. Despite having some personal history with the Laurel Maze and being an active falconer, he never cared much for or bothered with the actual gritty details of lands surrounding the castle. It was time to find some opportunities. It was time to make some.
Yes, sir, I wish I could tell you that those folks there won't.
Grand Speaker replied, tipping his hat respectfully. He was a scruffy-looking specimen himself, with a well-worn, almost invisible brown cutie mark. As far back as Blueblood could recall, the old mule had attended to the gardens greater for 20 decades. The prince levitated out a guide, filled with bookmarks, and opened it to one of the pages.
You can start by identifying which animal
In this book are commonly seen close to the palace. I'm also curious as to what would happen if some of the gala guests tonight tried to chase or catch the animals.
Oh,
The groundskeeper scratched his mane as he thought about it.
well, that probably wouldn't be too good. So, I guess you want to start with the birds?
That would be a good place to start.
Blueblood agreed.
Let's start with the birds.
Blueblood set down his cup, tea, milk, and ginger, and glanced across the table.
Auntie,
He spoke up, tone amiable.
I was wondering how your student in Ponyville's been doing. Twilight Sparkle, if I recall. She's still sending you reports on the magic of friendship, isn't she?
In a rare display of bewilderment, Celestia stared at her nephew. Yes, she is, the immoral princess replied. May I ask why the sudden interest? He offered a genuine smile.
She's obviously someone very important to you, Auntie, and to hear you speak of her, she must be quite a feeling. It's only natural I'm a bit curious. Besides, I'll probably meet her at the gala tonight.
You actually met her before, once. Celestia tasted talked briefly, while she thought of how to really respond. But you were both too young to remember.
No time like the present.
I suppose you're right, the princess decided. Very well. The Royal Academy of Arts and Science was the premier institution of higher learning in all of Equestria. Located at Canterlot, adjacent to and affiliated with the Royal Observatory Museum, and exclusively invited only the most promising of unicorns, they excited Earth ponies to attend. In theory, in practice, Phallic connections and deep-rooted alumni organizations and fraternities assured that quite a few less than superbly gifted ponies entered the prestigious academy. These same high society sons and daughters of nobility and industry captains conveniently graduated with a solid B. Blueblood was one of these solid B graduates. Except for the occasional charity or fundraiser, he doubted any of the learned minds of the RAAS expected to see him drop by for a visit. Certainly none of them would have expected him to start pulling strings and casting in favors. There weren't many universal constants in science or magic, but fortunately one of them was bits. Funding was always a short supply somewhere. Always.
Teleportation?
The wrinkled old pony grumbled, shaking his head. You?
Now, I didn't do that bad in the class,
Blueblood chatted.
It made 2 hoof legs and threw up all over yourself.
Professor Whitemane had a pretty sharp memory for a crazy geezer. The wrinkled old codger had to be pushing a century or more. Somehow, yet he was as sharp as as spry as a stallion half his age. Magic could do that for a pony. Of course, rumor was that old Whitemane dabbled in alchemy and forbidden mercury-flavored cupcakes. His name had largely become quite ironic. The professor was bald, save for a short white beard on his chin.
You have no time for blinking, much less long-range transportation.
Whitemane continued, sorry really dismissively.
That green bighorn in your head might as well be a tumor for all the good it does you.
Be that as it may.
Blueblood cheeked at the ghost's typical insults. Whitemane was notoriously abrasive towards all his students. He treated his appendices even worse. So the college rumor claimed. Time to find out.
I've been studying the subject and...
You? Studying?
Whitemane cut him off and actually spat.
Yes, me studying.
The Prince of Equestria grimaced at the spittle that nearly tickled off his left hoof.
Now, I happen to be making rather successful growth to the academy, but I require an earned mind to assist me.
And learning to teleport without sorry yourself?
And a lot, yes.
What a waste of time,
The aged unicorn grumbled, but rolled his eyes, at least willing to give it a try.
Very well, show me what you supposedly learned, and I'll take a few minutes to point out how poor you're at it.
The Canterlot Chamber Orchestra Company was really quite good. It seemed like forever since he had actually heard them play a proper score. Never once did they manage to endure the entire gala long enough to play the signature score that represented Celestia's royal entrance and exit. Blueblood listened to them now while he studied, one of only 3 ponies in the audience. One day he would hear entry of the princess play in the Menagerie au Soleil. Not yet. He jotted down some notes for the future. The Nocellus was rather pretty as well. Out of breath way. You know your father, bless his soul, managed twice that distance with half the effort. Do you think that royal bloodlines become so weak? I weep for Equestria. Not that we need a royal bloodline, not with just 1, but 2 immortal princesses on the throne. Blueblood coughed hard, trying to recover from the sore blink across the lecture stage. Can't imagine you wasting your time with this, Whitemane lectured. He listened to the Prince's state, pacing now and stroking his beard. Your magical tunneling projection is the most pathetic I've seen in years. My great-grandson just got his kidney like a month ago, and he could do better. It doesn't help that his special talent is teleporting. You need to lighten up your star field, and for Celestia's sake, stop inhaling when you teleport. Only teleport on exhale. Will you board this incompetence, or do you work at it? He sucked in the fresh morning air. It was so different outside, now that he knew what those smells were. It seemed like a mix of fragrant flowers in one patch, dirt and leaves in another. But a closer inspection, the gardens were so much more complex than he had ever imagined. He had always known that they were the work of a mad genius. The mad complex Head's Labyrinth was proof of that, first hoof. But even the seemingly simple geometric layout disguised hidden secrets, not for the uninitiated. The entire garden, raying outward from the 3 wings of the menagerie, was a diamond within a star within a diamond. It literally morphed in shape and color as the seasons changed, the evergreen outlines and contours becoming more distinct as deciduous trees and bushes shed their leaves. It was a living mural the likes of which dwarfed any of the grand tapestries, vestments, or statues on display inside. Intricate, marvelous, laudable, A fitting monument. Blueblood hardly minded the looks of surprise on passing faces as he worked, cutting away bits of shrubbery, manipulating 3 different sizes of shears in midair. For some odd reason, a tune he couldn't quite remember the words hovered in the back of his mind, compelling to hum to himself as he worked. Maybe it was just a detective tome he had picked up from Green Thumb.
Green Thumb!
He spied the groundskeeper happily sweeping away a few leaves. He idly hummed a tune.
Do you know a song with that cadence?
Ah, yes, I think I know that one.
The old coot was always quickly to fall back on castle talk, day after day, a trait the prince found himself growing appreciative of. He leaned heavily on his rake.
Out of the something.
I find it annoyingly catchy.
Yep.
Loyal Rybarian stared straight up in shock.
Prince Blueblood, she stammered. Where are you? I mean, how can I help?
Don't worry about it, Thistle.
He trotted to her to check out more books, obtaining a dozen colored bookmarks from her cup on his way past.
I know what I'm here for. Yes, everything's fine. No, this is just a private matter. Yes, I'll keep quiet. No, I won't be needing to make any copies. Also, can you have someone refill the coffee machine around 10 o'clock?
A charcoal mare blinked a few times.
Oh, and how to bring out fresh milk and cream while they're at it. The stock in the back room has spoiled.
He waved back at her as he went about his business. Ta! She scratched the back of her head.
Yes, sir.
Oh, since we could you protect your walls. Whitemane almost sounded impressed. Blueblood grinned as he looked up at the old master.
I did say I've been saying.
Don't go copy yourself steady, old coat.
The grizzled professor snapped, cutting him off.
Your distance is still subpar. And could you possibly beat off more magic when you use that oversized pea sticker on your forehead? What, do you think you're made of magic? Stop it, and whistle!
He grunted painfully.
Oh, sweet Celestia, you're making me wish I retired. Again, colt!
Whitemane stopped to wither old hoof.
And do it without making my teeth ache. You're trying to teleport yourself and blow out the room as you leave.
Blueblood hummed happily to himself as he finished his tea, milk, ginger. My goodness, nephew, Celestia remarked, after observing his curiously good mood for a few discreet minutes. You do seem quite chipper this morning. He offered her a mysterious smile.
I've been waiting for today, he replied, for quite some time now. For the gala, you mean?
Farmer Place guessed.
Yes, the gala.
Blueblood cut his foot gently.
That reminds me, I'd like to extend 2 invitations to stylists. There.
He pointed to the chamberlain's side, keeper of seals.
He's thinking of proposing to his fiancée, and the gala's as good a time as any. Just do it before 11.
Normally silent aid opened his mouth, but he couldn't think of what to say.
Yes, I know you two don't have anything to wear. I've already sent one of my servants along to find you both something appropriate.
Stannis stammered.
But how?
Long story, no time.
Blueblood dabbed his lips with his napkin.
If you'll excuse me, everybody, I've got a busy day.
Ponyville. Finally. Now at last, the hard parts. Blueblood's start would have been the easiest of the 6. Softly humming the silly tune the same mares would sing later tonight for the castle gates, the time-looped prince plied out just what he had to do. Come hell or high water, or celestial menopause, he would make at least one gala work. For peace of mind, if nothing else, he had to try. This meant, he was sure of it, dealing with the 6 elements of harmony. He even tried messing around with that dear sweet bell that popped up at one point to talk to him, and spent about 3 of these time loops training with Octavia to learn how to sing. Yes, one day I will do the Sleepy Chronicles. A servant dealing with the 6. Mr. Eddie would theoretically be the easiest. According to the information he had gathered, she had gone to the gala specifically to find him and to fall in love. The first run-through, and quite a few more, he had rather decisively mismatched her expectations of the night by being his usual self. Darkly, Blueblood still considered one of the stunts he pulled back then kind of amusing. Rarity was a beautiful mare, and supposedly very generous, according to that wonderful crazy Pegasus, the French's letters he had read, and others who knew her, but also rather reminded him of his mother, and the usual coterie of mares he had to associate with the court. He just didn't particularly like noble mares. He had resigned himself to marrying a daughter of one of the many rich or noble houses of Equestria. But it didn't matter, it would make it easier for her. If his mate was going to be a gold digger or a trophy, she could at least be a compliant one. So he thought. That's why, theoretically, making Rarity's gala evening go right was the easiest of the six. All he supposedly had to do was act like she wanted him to act, like a proper prince of Tentacult. He could even wine and dine her as necessary. Wouldn't be that hard. But it also raised other potential problems. Mostly with the fact that her falling in love with him was rather different than them falling in love with each other. He could definitely act like he had fallen in love with her, but if he does that and act. So theoretically, easiest. Theoretically. Trial and error would have to fill in the rest. Blueblood tapped his hoof, waiting for the door to open. True, he dropped by uninvited and announced. That could be fixed next time. But honestly, how long was it taking for her to get sufficiently ready to answer his summons? The two lone royal guard Pegasi who had flown him to Ponyville were milling close by, not guarding him as much as they were at Chariot. The prince glanced down at himself and wondered if he had overdressed slightly when to change the formal wear. Finally, the door opened, and a little filly with a pink and purple two-tone mane appeared. No, 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 wait! The Sweet Chronicles isn't finished yet! I'm not ready to do it! The two mares finally stared for a few seconds.
You're not Miss Serenity,
Blueblood stated, peering at her. Are you?
No, she isn't.
A voice came from within the boutique.
I'm Sweetbelle.
The filly stuck out her husband then, thinking better of it, remembered her manners, and bowed slightly. Nothing like the growling and kowtowing that was expected when a real royal showed up. Blueblood stared at the polite little filly. He just couldn't help it.
I am Prince Blueblood. Tell me, sweetie belle, is your mother home?
Oh! Blueblood composed himself. No jokes this time.
I'm Sweetbelle.
The adorable little filly, just like before, there's thought about trying to shake hooves before remembering how to in greeting. No jokes this time. No jokes this time. No jokes this time.
I am Prince Blueblood. Tell me, sweetie belle, would you go to the gala with me?
I'm Chris Hansen. Would you care to take a seat, sir? Okay, seriously. No jokes this time.
I'm Sweetbelle.
I'm Prince Blueblood. Tell me, sweetie belle, is your sister home? I would dearly like to ask her something.
There. Blueblood felt quite proud. No need to make yet another hard reset reality. Sorry, you put down the words hard reset. That puts thoughts into my head.
Oh,
The green-eyed filly glanced back at the door, not really sure what to say.
she's
Sweetbelle answered slowly, hesitantly.
here.
Normally, he would have found something to amuse himself while he waited for the lady of the house to put her face on, so to speak. However, he had a lot to do today. Everything had to be ready before the gala, even during it. There was a very tight schedule.
If you could,
He asked, floating down a bouquet of flowers, picking up on the way out of counter line.
would you please give these to your sister and ask her if she is amenable to my escorting her to the gala tonight?
Sweetbelle's mouth made an O, as she giggled like, well, a school filly.
Both means what?
She asked innocently. A faint sound came from inside.
It means consenting,
He told her, with a friendly smile.
willing.
Proving a bit more clever than she appeared, Sweetbelle still looked back at the door, in the boutique where her sister was furiously trying to look presentable. If Rarity was, like most bears Blueblood knew, spent a good chunk of every morning getting herself presentable. He did as well. Today was a bit special. He had skipped down on all but the essentials.
I'm pretty sure she'll say yes.
Sweetbelle guessed.
Good. I was thinking of having a charity pick her up, but apparently she preferred to ride with her friends.
He shook his head, just to share the information.
Just tell her to be ready by 8.
Bang!
The little filly waited cheerily, as he hurried out to his next engagement. Yes, Rarity would theoretically be the easiest of the six. All he had to do was not ruin her night, while also possibly convincing her that she didn't want to marry into his family. If his Heranium of a mother had been alive, Blueblood was sure that he would have been much easier. We were at those particulars later. Fastenisa, Part 1 was ready. The stage was set. Now, for the element of laughter.